The Trump-Pence regime, with its opposition to science and its fascist program, now poses an even greater danger to humanity facing the COVID-19 pandemic.
Silent no more.
Silent no more.
Silent no more, we say. The hour is late. For over 3 years, the Trump-Pence regime has brought an unrelenting barrage of insult, injury, and atrocity.
With catastrophic consequences for all humanity.
There are times in history when a people must reach deep into their collective conscience and act with extraordinary moral courage to stop the crimes of their government.
We must say out loud what has too often been spoken in whispers and riddles.
An American fascism is here and advancing. Wrapped in the flag and Mike Pence's Bible taken literally, spreading its poison of white supremacy, misogyny, xenophobia, and oppressive, fundamentalist, traditional values.
Thousands fill stadiums and cheer as Trump spews heinous, bigoted rhetoric. His acolytes threaten civil war and carry out acts of terror.
Trump's acquittal in a sham impeachment trial has set the legal precedent for him to do whatever he wants, even steal an election, as he barrels ahead with alarming vengeance.
This regime legends the very notion of objective truth, trafficking not merely in lies, but in flagrant campaigns of disinformation.
They purge those who refuse to march in lockstep, then pack the judiciary, the police, and the military, the executive and the legislative branches, and the state houses with fascists and all manner of reactionary zealots, including theocratic Christian fascists, who see this as their last chance to cement their domination for generations to come.
The world as we have known it is being torn asunder. Fascist regimes are taking root everywhere as tens of millions of people are forced to seek asylum from wars, climate change, and enormous economic dislocation. Scientists have reset the doomsday clock that measures the danger of nuclear war and the destruction of the environment to 100 seconds before midnight.
The anti-science Trump-Pence regime hid the danger of the COVID-19 virus, now a pandemic, for months, setting the stage for possibly catastrophic impact on all of society and placing those who have been targets of their overall program in the most jeopardy. Immigrants, forced into shadows and concentration camps, millions of black and brown people languishing in prisons, the people of Iran facing crippling sanctions, the poor, sick, and homeless here and around the world.
The damage already done cannot easily be reversed. While worse is surely to come, we are on increasingly unsteady ground, and any major crisis, international or domestic, could become the catalyst for this regime to drop the hammer.
History has shown us fascism must be stopped before it's too late.
Enough.
Enough!
Enough. We raise our voices here to say, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America.
The hour is late. If we do not intervene now, we cannot ask how the German people accepted the horrors of the Nazi regime.
What we allow is not just what we condone, it's what we become.
No longer will we stand aside while this regime shreds the rule of law. No more moving the goalpost of what we will tolerate or retreating into our private lives as the regime fills concentration camps at the border, cages immigrant children, bans Muslims, and threatens whole countries with fire and fury. We will not allow LGBTQ people to be slammed back into the closet and women to lose their right to abortion and birth control.
It is long past time we cast aside illusions and self-delusions. For years, people have waited for the blue wave, for Mueller, for impeachment. But the normal channels turn into dead end as the regime shreds norms and changes the rules.
The Democratic Party cannot be relied on to stop this nightmare. Trump has branded them as enemies and traitors, rallying crowds to lock them up.
Yet the Democrats have repeatedly jumped to work with Trump when he let them.
normalizing what should normally be opposed.
When they finally moved to impeach, it was on the real, compelling, but narrow grounds of cheating on elections, but not the full crimes of the Trump-Pence program. They have not called forth the one force that could change the whole political equation, the power of the people in the streets. And they've refused to say publicly what many of them know in private, that Trump is a fascist.
Let us not hope against facts the 2020 election, the same election that Trump was on trial for sabotaging, is enough to resolve this crisis. What will he do if Trump wins or loses and refuses to step down? What damage will the fascist forces he has unleashed continue to inflict, even if he does lose and leaves vengeful? No election, fair or fraudulent, can legitimize what has been normalized over the last 3 years.
The hour is late, but we can look to the people around the world who have taken to the streets and sustained nonviolent mass protests to drive out hated regimes and win a chance to shape their own destinies. The eyes of the world are now on us. They want to see whose side we are on. Will we capitulate to this regime with our silence and passivity, or resist every injustice of this regime and act decisively to knock it off its collision course with humanity?
There is a way to stop this. We will follow our conscience, sound the alarm, and organize so that it becomes possible for thousands to take the streets across the country.
A nonviolent, sustained mass protest demanding Trump and Pence out now, growing to millions and staying in the streets until our demand is met.
This is not the easy road. It requires sacrifice.
Yet our actions will reflect our love for humanity, and in stark contrast to the hate and bigotry of the Trump-Pence fascist regime, and create a serious political crisis for the ruling powers, leading to a situation where this illegitimate regime is removed from power. We must act to make this real. The hour is late, but it is not yet too late.
We pledge that we will not stand aside while there is still a chance to stop a regime that imperils humanity and the earth itself.
We come from different perspectives, but united in our determination, we say,
in the name of humanity.
In the name of humanity.
In the name of humanity.
In the name of humanity,
we refuse to accept a fascist America.
This nightmare must end.
Trump Pence out now.
Trump Pence
Out now.
Trump Pence
Out now.
Trump Pence
Out now. Trump Pence out now.
Trump Pence
Out now.
Trump Pence
Out now.
Trump Pence
Out now.